our soul.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Across the Bifrost. This is the Mighty Thor podcast, where on each and every episode, we explore the world of Marvel's Mighty Thor. I'm your host, Ryan and and I'm joined today by Eric Teske. He is here filling in as both members of the Warriors 3. He's pulling double duty. He's got multiple responsibilities on this episode, but Eric's here to help us break down the latest issue of Immortal Thor, number 11, entitled The God of Doom. So, Eric, new issue of Thor. I don't think you've been on for one of these new issue reviews in a hot minute, man. It's good to have you back.
No, it's been a while, and I'm prepared to fill in here. I am a Thor super fan.
Yes, he is, everybody.
I have two Thor themed tattoos and counting, and I have a lot of enthusiasm for the meal that we're sinking our teeth into is a kind of hefty technical one today, but
lots of exposition.
when a new Thor book comes out, it's always a good week, and
right.
I will not complain, but I will be happy to pick apart and react to this issue with you.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. You actually, man, you mentioned something that I think listeners should just know about. People should know what your Thor tattoos are, because one of them you got just a few months ago or so, but it's an epic comic artist inspired tattoo. What are your Thor tattoos, Eric?
Yes. Okay. So I guess this happens when you turn 40. You decide, I'm going to finish my sleeve. Remember those tattoos from 15, 20 years ago? I'm going to get some more of those. So I got the rune Thurizaz, which is the rune that Thor's previous costume had on the chest of it.
Yes.
It's the thorn of the world tree. It was carved above his throne in Asgard. I mean, this symbol, it's right there on my left hand. So it's my husband was like hand tattoo. That's a choice. I said, hey, you know what? Like, tattoo on the hand. All right. I guess there's no covering that up.
Interesting.
And then the next one that I got was Nick Klein art inspired Throg. Leaping straight out of the pages and right onto my left arm, wielding his tiny version of Mjolnir, covered in battle gore. I think it's the one he's leaping right out of the mouth of Donald Blake. But
yes, it's the issue. Yeah, so everybody, if you want to go check out Eric's Instagram page, you've got a tattoo picture up there, don't you? That people could see if they wanted to check out this badass tattoo.
It's very, I mean, it's literally straight from the comic page. It's very, the artist did a great job with the detail on it. So yeah.
Well, and everybody, embarrassingly enough, Eric has two more Thor tattoos than I do. I have an Aquaman tattoo and a Star Trek tattoo. What is wrong with me? I do not have a Thor tattoo. Maybe that'll be the next one. But everybody, all that being said, we are here to break down and give you our reactions, our thoughts on Immortal Thor number 11, The God of Doom. This is an issue that is picking up from not the previous issue of Thor, but we're picking up a story from Jonathan Hickman's Gods series, but also this story was teased all the way back in the Thor annual that we got last spring, last early summer. And our creative team on this one is Al Ewing is our writer, Alex Ross is our cover artist, and then we have another guest artist that is filling in before we get our new next full-time artist. I believe that's coming in Immortal Thor number 13. 13 or 14. No, it's 13. It's Immortal Thor 13 is going to be Jan Bazaldua's first issue as the new regular, or so the internet has told us. But the guest artist on this issue is Valentina Pinti. She is following up Ibrahim Roberson and Carlos Magno, did the previous fill-in issues. Valentina gets the call here, and she fills in as artist. This issue, Eric, I know you're a little more familiar with what's happening in Gods and that stuff. Have you dug deep into that? Is that something we need to know a lot about going into this new issue?
Um, it makes the what those black and white boxes, what the heck are those? It makes those make a lot more sense
Okay.
if you've been following along in Gods, because those are used for a specific purpose by specific cosmic beings. So those are called Skinner boxes, and
Okay.
they come from, or they're made by the In-Betweener,
Okay.
which is a very, very high level cosmic being that is basically the manifestation, the representation of duality, of, light, dark, right, wrong, good, evil, any duality. The In-Betweener technically has influence over, which means that they can basically manipulate reality, because if they can influence everything that has a duality, that's a lot of things
That's pretty
in
much
the
all
in, in
stuff.
the in the cosmos. Yeah. So these Skinner boxes in Gods are used to basically reprogram people, to sort of recondition people. So a Skinner box in psychology is actually a device that you can put a rat into, and you can teach it to hit a lever to release feed pellets.
Okay.
And there's also, on the floor of the box, there's also electrical wires that can sort of shock the rat. And so it's about teaching the rat to perform different behaviors through either positive reinforcement or positive punishment. You either shock it
Okay.
until it hits the lever, or you feed it after it hits the lever. But it's
Okay.
an actual, it comes from a psychology term. It's an actual thing, but clearly not in the way that they're being used here to reprogram magicians, gods, and other folk who end up inside them, which Tyr climbed inside in the end pages of the book that kicked off the series.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, God, the Gods series is something that, I mean, you just shed more light on it than I have. I have a troubled, probably too much of a simpleton's approach to Jonathan Hickman. Jonathan Hickman writing kind of makes me tired and sleepy. But that's probably my fault. It's probably a user error. I'm not reading the comics correctly. I need to catch up on Gods just to, like Eric said, kind of fill out my knowledge of what's happening here and why, of all things, the Asgardian, the Norse god of war, is one of the characters that's being presented in that story. Eric, do you have any idea? Can you shed any light on why Tyr? Tyr is no pun intended. He's a lower tier Asgardian god. He's not like Loki. He's not Sif. He's definitely not Thor, but he is in this Children of Odin fraternity. Why Tyr here? Why do you think that?
Well, and I should say that, Tyr does not appear anywhere in the Gods series so far. So this is only happening. They're basically the tie between these things is just the Skinner box itself. And so we're
Is the
just trying to
Skinner
figure out, like,
boxes?
well,
Okay.
yeah, like, so why is he being put in one, knowing that it can sort of like reprogram someone? I think Tyr as a character, I'm not super familiar with, but I know that he's not always a bad guy and he's not always a good guy. He's a strategist. Um, he is missing a hand that we are strategically reminded of in the
Yes.
opening sort of quote that begins
Yeah.
the issue, which hopefully I think then makes the big reveal at the end that where'd this other hand come from? It makes it a little
Yeah.
bit more impactful of
We have another question to be answered.
But do you know the story of how Tyr lost his hand, like from
I,
mythology,
you
like the
know,
actual?
I do not. I know that we have listeners that are much more knowledgeable with actual mythology. So, like these quotes here at the beginning get them real excited, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we're talking about the Eddas! I love the Eddas." A few friends of mine even reached out after this issue. Was like, "Huh, it's interesting that so and so is actually the brother of that person and is not a sibling of Odin." And it's all like, it's all mixed around. So there's people out there, people that listen to this podcast, people that are good friends and have full freedom to reach out to me on Instagram and DM us their thoughts on this. But I do not understand the mythological connections to it as much. But I do like that we're getting these quotes at the beginning. The quote at the beginning of this issue, and then we'll break into a synopsis and tell you some of our favorite little parts here. Is from that time, Tyr has had but one hand. He is not regarded as a peacemaker among men. So we're setting the bait on the line, and we're casting it out with what happens in this story. Here's in a nutshell. Here's what happens in Immortal Thor number 11. Then we'll pick away at it. Thor has to get out of Midgard because he's being framed for a double homicide. We talked about that on last episode. Thor is talking to Sam Wilson, and Sam's like, "Yeah, I should probably stay away for now." And Thor's like, "That's a good idea. I should deal with some family business." Then a big Odinson family reunion gets together. And Eric, I'm going to try to list off as many as I can. Please help me fill in the blanks here, because I know Eric sent me like a cheat sheet of all the different members of this little meeting that they have, and it was very helpful. Let's see. Obviously, there's Thor, there's Loki, Angela, Balder, Honir, Vidar. No, not Fafnir. Fafnir's a dragon. Lausa, and oh, I'm missing one, aren't I? Well, obviously, Oler and Bragi show up later.
Mhm.
Tyr obviously is involved in the story. I am missing one of them. Damn it!
Did you say Vidar
I said Vidar. I don't
and
remember. And Honir,
Hermod? Hermod.
Hermod. Damn it!
Curses,
So
Hermod.
the swift one. So all these children get together and they're like, "Hey, where's Tyr? Like that, like all of us were supposed to get together for this thing. Tyr's the only one that's not here." Bragi and Uller show up, and they are kind of forgotten gods from the previous cosmos, and they expound a little bit on that storytelling in here. But Uller is a god of fear. He's a god of doom. That is a little bit of a reference to the title of this issue, because it is called the God of Doom. We see them kind of discuss a little bit of where Tyr could be, because Sif can't see him. She is the one that watches over the Bifrost Bridge and the Nine Realms now, the similar role that Heimdall had for so long. But Sif can't see him. Hogan and Munin cannot find him. The Ravens of Thor cannot find him across the stars. Well, then what does that mean? It means he's in between. So we go into this like pocket dimension, this in between space, and we find all these Skinner boxes that Eric helped us understand there. And we split the team up because Tyr is both close and far. So half of them go off. It's like an episode of Scooby Doo. Half the gang goes this way, and half the gang goes that way. And then Loki, Angela, Thor, and Balder, like the A tier children of Odin, go off in one direction, and then the rest go to a much nearer box. They open the box, and I believe it's Hermod who opens the box, and he sees Tyr right away. And Tyr is he's cross-legged with one abnormal looking glowing hand. And he says, here's how the comic ends. This is what Hermod says. "Still, Tyr should be easy to spot. I doubt he's changed all that." "Oh, Tyr, whose hand is that?" And his left hand is glowing, and it kind of looks like a claw. And that's where we see Tyr also has kind of like it's just like the whites of his eyes. So he kind of looks like he's in kind of like a trance almost. But then we get the the title card of God of Doom. So Eric, is there anything I missed in there in the synopsis? I know there's a lot going on in this comic, but trying to give a little bit of the high points before we dig into the bits and pieces.
No, I think you got it. I mean, really, that's we start in Uller's hall as a big family reunion, and we end up in this sort of weird dimension of Skinner boxes as far as the eye can see, up and down, left and right, and we go inside, and there's Tyr in a trance, maybe being brainwashed, maybe, but with a mysterious hand.
He looks like he's in the video game Tron. Like it's like a grid system and it's all blue and black. Yeah. Tyr is taking a Tron vacation, I guess. What were some of the
But did you?
spots in
But the part where they said, "Oh, sorry, I just stepped all over your
go
line."
ahead.
I was gonna say that when they said that he is both near and far, duality. That's the
Duality.
in-betweener. That's a hallmark of the in-betweener. So that
Oh
makes
my
a lot of
gosh.
sense. And it also is a way to split the team up. But that makes, I mean, he's going to probably be a lot of things. Maybe some things that seem contradictory. He could be both at once. But I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah, no, that was great because then we get to see just some different dynamics play out. It's kind of hard to have 9, 10 characters in one like big group and then see the dynamics play out. But I'm a little okay. We'll dig into the other parts as is. Right now that we're talking about the roster that we have here, it's a big collection of the Children of Odin. But Eric, why did they split it up so clearly? Like, here's the A squad of characters you know, and here's the B squad of characters you don't know so much. Do you like that, or would you have rather seen them like split them up and kind of mix and match them a little bit more?
I was trying to figure that. I didn't know if they split it up just based on who could fly, maybe, or like
Oh, maybe.
if there was a different
Does
convenient
Balder
way of
fly?
like why they left. No, Loki's carrying Balder with magic. Okay, so that's not
Oh,
going to work.
okay. Yeah, I saw that in that panel where they're flying away. Okay,
Maybe it's
well,
because
maybe.
the B team, they're gonna kind of botch it. Maybe Tyr's gonna come out and attack them all, and they couldn't have anybody too powerful be left behind. And so this is really kind of cannon
Okay.
fodder, I guess.
Maybe. Oh man, you know what? I hope that's the reason. I hope that we get to see Tyr kind of wreck shop a little bit. But if he's in there for to be changed, like you were saying about the Skinner boxes, if he's the god of war, what do you think Tyr is going to be changed into? If it's duality, wouldn't that be like the god of peace or the god of like I don't know. I don't know. What's the opposite of the god of war? It would be the god of peace, I would think.
And I think that I it makes me think like when a character goes into a Skinner box, and again, we still don't know a lot about the exact details of it, but it's when they come out, at least in Gods, the series, they when they come out, they think that the world on the outside is a dream and that the world on the
Oh,
inside is reality. And so
okay.
he could come out swinging, thinking that this is just a dream he's having. Um,
Okay.
there's I
I'm
don't know.
down.
Again,
I'm
this
down.
that's the Hickman stuff of like who really knows.
I love that's really the only explanation I need. It's the Hickman of it all. It's
Yeah.
Jonathan. Hickman's got a Hickman at some point. What were some of your favorite parts of this issue, Eric? I know we've kind of talked. We've already talked the end of it to death, but were there other parts in this issue that were really standouts for you?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff. At first I felt like Al Ewing was giving me a summer reading project, like I had
Oh my
homework, and
gosh, yes.
I was like, "What are you giving us homework? It's May, come on!"
It's May. Come on, teacher.
But after I got over that, I started to see there's actually quite a bit in here. So first of all, just the huge cast of characters really reminds me of the team coming together in The Hobbit, where you have all the dwarves and it's a lot of names
Oh
and it's a lot of
yeah.
all this stuff. It really does feel sort of like that same sort of vibe where they have to do things that are differentiating between them with the look, with the how they act, so that you can kind of tell them apart. I really like, for example, that Bragi has a Hawaiian shirt on,
I
and
love that.
he doesn't get along with Loki. Yeah. He doesn't get along with Loki because Loki's the god of stories and he is the god of poetry. So he's saying everything in verse in sort of a sing-song, rhymey way, and Loki just can't stand that.
Can't stand it.
But interesting
Uh,
things happening. So all of the rhymes are in purple scrolls, and the regular narration is in brown scrolls. And we kind of see for the first time, I think it's confirmed that the brown scrolls are Loki. Loki is the
yeah,
narrator. I don't think that was really confirmed before, but we see in the brown scroll it says, "I am the teller of this tale," and that's in Loki saying that. So I think it's confirmed Loki's the Brown Scroll
I'll
narrator
buy
all
it.
throughout.
I'll buy it. It'd be interesting to go back and read the Immortal Thor run with that thought in mind now of like, oh, if this is all Loki, that makes sense because he's the god of stories. That I mean, it makes sense to me. One of my favorite Loki lines in here that is said to Bragi is like, "Hey, I could have said all of that in half the time without the rhymes." And Bragi says, "But you didn't, did you?" But I love the humor between the two storytellers. Loki also, whenever Loki is talking about Bragi or he's like annoyed with him, they they really distort Loki's face. They they have like missing teeth and all that. It was just kind of funny how Valentina drew Loki in those moments of their frustration with
Mhm.
Bragi. No, a great interaction. I loved it. Yeah.
Also interesting that Bragi is the former Skald of Realms, so we know that
Yeah.
that role has been held before. And really interesting dynamic where it seems like in each cosmos it alternates whether the cosmos is sort of influenced by science and story and like logic or
Yeah.
magic and poetry and there seems to be it goes back and forth, and they said that this cosmos, a this new reality, a scientist chose, and I'm thinking, is that Galactus, is that Galen,
Hmm.
or how do you say his
I would
human
say
name?
gallon,
Galen.
gallon of ta. I mean, I don't think it really matters. But like, yeah, big Professor Galactus. We'll call it's like the Professor Hulk thing. Yeah, Professor Galactus.
But all these names, I mean, it really is much easier to just read it in your head because having to come and talk about it, it's just we're just mispronouncing everything. I was even
Oh,
practicing.
it's the worst.
I was like looking up how to say Uller, and I'm like channeling my Torin Greenback, and I'm like Ulre, and I'm like trying to get it just right.
This is the man. If we could have brought Torin back for one episode, I'd be like, hey, like please, this has nothing to do with Carnage, has nothing to do with Red Sonja, has nothing to do with your books. We just don't know how to pronounce these freaking names.
Can you just say all these names for us so we know how to say it?
Oh my gosh. One of the other parts I really loved was this when Uller shows up, he's in his hall. He is a long forgotten god, but whatever is happening, whatever's bringing them together is so important that this long lost god needs to come back. And sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes when comic books use the whole thing of like, oh well, why doesn't so and so just do so and so? It's like, well, okay, if they if they just Deus Ex Machina the whole thing, then there's not a story. And so why has Uller been away for so long? Like, why didn't Uller come back during this event or during that story or when the last 9 times that Odin's died? You know, why didn't he come back those other times? Well, the story did not necessitate him coming back. I'm really curious to see how Uller's story like meshes with where the other children of Odin are thinking, maybe in the more heroic vein. Is Uller like secretly one of our Utgard people? Like it'd be interesting to maybe
Oh.
fit him in there because we'll get to this at the end. When we wrap up our conversation, we'll read the synopsis of the next issue, the solicitation for the next issue. But the next issue features this big Odin looking figure on the cover a big giant, and who knows? Maybe Oler is more related to the Utgard story than we thought. Who knows? Eric, do you have any suspicions going forward? Anything that you're like, ooh, that I could see that happening, or oh, maybe this person could do that. Anything like that to speculate?
I think we should absolutely be skeptical of Uller, who just shows up and happens to be like the god of doom and is really the one driving the plot. He's the one taking them to the realm with all the Skinner
Right.
boxes there. Um, I don't know if you just want to, get in the car with that guy. He kind of be, he's kind of
No,
sketchy.
what?
Uh,
Guys, don't trust him. Like,
yeah.
he's got bad
And
guy
then,
written all
and
over
then I
him.
think Tyr with that hand with sharp claws and crackly white electricity coming off of it, that can't be good. I think that he's
No
gonna come out
way.
swinging, but they're gonna pivot this. I'm like, how is this gonna get wrapped up in like an issue? Because there's a lot of stuff has to happen before we eventually get to. We've seen the solicitations coming out. Like they don't spend a whole lot of time on Skinner boxes, it seems like. So they're gonna just be kind of moving right along. But I think it would almost make more sense if there was some oh, I was really this Utgard thing, shenanigans going on, kind of like how we had Utgard Loki in disguise. That
Yeah.
would be more convenient, I think, to quickly change pace as opposed to explaining then, well, then what happens is everybody just go home? Where all these people go? There's this huge party to get together.
Because I totally agree, Eric. Because like you said, we already know that Immortal Thor 13 is a Thor and Hercules story. We already know that giant sized Thor #1 is coming out, and that's Thor and Loki. That's Thor and Hercules going off on another adventure. We're moving on pretty quickly. I have not seen any cover or solicitation for Immortal Thor 14 yet. Let me just look up real quick as we're doing this. The most professional thing. I'm just going to Google something real quick to hopefully not look like a fool. 13 is the Hercules cover. And then do we have anything for 14 yet? Has Alex Ross graced us with a cover of 14? Yep. There is a cover for number 14. And we should save that. We should talk
I
about
haven't
that at
even
the
seen
end.
that. I just saw the news about the giant size. I haven't even seen that.
Well, Eric, I won't lie. I'm looking at the solicitation for it because the previews must have come out, and boy, howdy, it looks great. But it looks like it relates very closely to where Immortal Thor 13 is. It's a very Hercules related story. So,
Yeah.
um,
So they're
everybody,
going to tie this up soon. I mean, they've got to tie
we have to,
this
yeah.
up pretty quickly.
So speaking of tying it up, let's tie up our episode here with just a wrap up of the synopsis for next issue, and then maybe a few more like Eric, if you think of any like more speculative thoughts you have, that'd be great. And then I gotta share a little bit of a promo here at the end, and then we'll get everybody out here and on with their day. The solicitation for Immortal Thor 12 says, God's death. In Andlang, land of spirits, the Utgard Odin challenged Thor to battle for the rune of his brother, the war god Tyr. For Tyr was changed by strong forces within and without, and to restore him would come only at equal cost. This is the story of the immortal Thor and the Odinson's end. So, I think our theory of Uller secretly being like an Utgard variant of Odin or of some god. I don't know. I know nothing going into that, but it feels like that's how you could tie it up. Or maybe Bragi is one of the Utgard, doppelgangers. I don't know, Eric. What do you think about that solicitation?
Saying that an Odinson is going to die, that's any of 11 people. That doesn't tell us anything.
That's not really specific, guys.
Yeah.
I also
Um,
love here that we were supposed to get a we were supposed to get a letters page this issue. Nope, that shit ain't happening. I missed the letters page. We wrote into the letters page so long ago. It feels like half a year has gone by. But sorry, Eric, I cut you off there. Any more thoughts on that solicitation?
uh, I mean, it's we've been taught not to trust the storyteller, and I think that's something that Al is playing with in a very meta way and a very effective way. And so I think that be wary of being misled, and I think that's part of the game. Actually, one of the quotes in this issue was, each story told is woven as a lie, and poetry is spun to speak a truth. So we've heard over and over again that you can't trust the storyteller, or the storyteller is only interested in the story and not in, being trustworthy to the reader. So you never know where it could go.
Yeah, I mean, we got so much room to play around in Al Ewing's Thor. The Al Father is truly weaving a magnificent story, and maybe Eric, maybe at the end we will understand what it means. That's how I've just become to read and understand Al Ewing comics. As it may not make sense right now, but it will someday. It will someday. So yeah, man, thank you so much for hopping on here and helping us break down Immortal Thor number 11. I really really enjoy breaking down these issues with friends because I get to see it from a different perspective, and you guys help me read. And as a 33-year-old man, reading is sometimes still hard. And you guys are very helpful. I appreciate it. Ugh.
I want to plug the Discord. Everybody, jump on the
Oh,
Discord. Come and talk to a community of people who are all just getting hype about nerdy crap together. I mean, it's so much fun. And you will get recommendations for stories to read. You will meet people who are smarter than either of us, and it's a great
truly,
time. So
truly. We got lots of great friends over there. There is actually a link in our episode description. Eric kind of fills the Faz role because he reminds me of the stuff that I was almost going to forget to plug. So thank you. There's a link in the episode description where it's an invite to our Discord. You can click it. It'll take you to Discord. You'll have to probably download the app or maybe use it on your desktop. But it is a great community. We are a small but mighty band of Thor fans, and it's a lot of fun. We don't just talk about Thor. We talk about other comics, movies, wrestling, our new wrestling podcast, The Near Fall. We have a channel for that. Or if you just want to come share a random panel from a comic book with no context, you can do that. I do it almost daily. It's one of my favorite things to post in the Discord because I don't have to explain it. And yeah, it's just a great group of people over there. So be sure to check that out. Another thing you can check out is our Patreon. We just posted a great bonus episode, one of our pre-games, where Eric and I tell you, we kind of break down our thoughts about the Blood Hunt event that is going on simultaneously, parallel with our reviews of Immortal Thor. So we talked about Blood Hunt issue number 1, Blood Hunt issue number 2, and then a few of the tie-ins. And we focus in on what Thor has been up to or not been up to in the Blood Hunt event. So that was a lot of fun to put together. If you click the episode in the link in the episode description, you'll get access to that on any level. Our $5 level is our most popular there on Patreon. One last thing in our episode description. I'm giving you. I'm like Al Ewing here at the end. I'm giving you a lot of homework. I'm giving you a lot of exposition, but you will understand it someday. In the episode description, you will find a link for tickets to Theology Beer Camp. We're going back. We're hanging out with Trip and Will Rose in Denver this year in October. It's 17th through the 19th, and we have our own promo code for that. It is Bifrost Hobbit I Trip makes up the bonus codes. I don't. It's Bifrost, Hobbit. You can get some money off your ticket. Tickets are going up to full price pretty soon. So if you want to get involved with that, click the link there, check it out, use our promo code. We would appreciate that very, very much. It helps pay my way to get out there. That would be very helpful if you're planning on joining us in Denver in October. But that is your new comic review, everybody. We hope you enjoyed Immortal Thor 11. Eric, do you have any parting shots before we wish everybody well?
Just a wild Al Ewing Immortal Hulk / Immortal Thor thought to nest in your mind.
Okay, nest it there.
The left hand is strength, but the right hand is mercy.
Interesting.
Plant that in your brain.
Okay. Eric has truly given us a lot to think about on this episode. And we encourage you that no matter what you're doing, whether it's in the in-between space, whether it's in Midgard, whether it's in Asgard, wherever you find yourself this week, no matter what you do, we encourage you to do one thing, and that is to stay worthy. Dun, 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 dun.